Today is pretty awesome. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this. You don't even understand. If you have been listening to this podcast for a while, then you've seen some of my amazing guests. You've seen Catherine Ryan, you've seen Mistress Marley, you've seen Tierra Dole, and today you are seeing Pamela Blonde. That's right, we got Pamela Blonde in the building, an icon. Okay, a beautiful, powerful dominatrix. For me, it's so important to bring the women who exist on the social outskirts into the middle of the conversation because they really do play a huge role in culminating this culture that we are in right now. And I would describe this culture as the female revolution part 2. So it's so sick to have Pamela in the building with us right now. I would have done an intro for Pamela, but it's best that she introduces herself.
You're so nice. I am a dominatrix, and an activist, and that's my whole kind of thing. Yeah, I'm from Scotland. I lived in London for a couple of years. I think that's how we met. You came to my Dom confidence workshop. I'll never forget what you said. You said I'm a dominatrix for political reasons. I don't know why. I'll just never forget it. I was like, is that Slumflower?
Of course it would be.
And then you said, I'm a dominatrix for political reasons. I was like, oh, that's Slumflower, 100%.
Oh, I love that stood out to you because I still feel that way about it. I think for a lot of people who are dominatrixes, we all come into this lifestyle and this mentality and this way of living from different paths. Yeah. And for me, political was genuinely my reason. I think out of principle, men shouldn't be able to access women just because they want to. Like, I believe we should actually deliberately lay hoops out for them to jump through.
Yeah, I definitely do that for my clients anyway. Yeah.
How long have you been a dominatrix for?
4 years. Actually, oh my god, I missed my anniversary.
When was it?
The 13th of August.
Oh my god.
Damn it. I mean, it's too busy in Edinburgh to even think about anniversaries, so yeah. But yeah, 4 years, but before I was doing that, I was doing OnlyFans, and I was doing kind of like femdom, which is like female domination content anyway. But I wanted to start of 2020, before lockdown, before anyone starts like, oh, you started OnlyFans during lockdown. No, I was doing it before. But I did this like filming day with another dominatrix, and I was just like a content creator. I wasn't really doing anything, and then she was too anxious to do the filming day or something. I can't remember what actually happened, but she had to leave, and she was like, but there's this guy coming over, I was gonna peg him like on camera, and I looked at the other girl that was there who was another content creator. I was like, should we just do it? And then we did it, and I was like, this is so fun. And then I said to the girls, I was like, we should do this together, just like us two. And she's like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I was like, oh yeah, me neither, like it's fine. And then after lockdown, I came to London for a few weeks and met loads of doms, and I was like, these are my people. I need to be here. Yeah, did my first session in London, went back and like just crammed as many sessions in as possible to learn as quickly as possible. Yeah, I love my job.
You know what, Pamela, it's so interesting that the way that you got into it was literally throwing yourself into it in terms of like just doing sessions, whacking it out and just going for it.
Yeah, I didn't want to be someone, there was so many like OnlyFans girls like moving into like other forms of sex work, and I was just like, I don't want to be seen as like someone who just is in it for the money or like just, I don't really know. I wanted my colleagues to know that I took it really seriously, you know?
I think you take it seriously. I mean, I came to your Dom Confidence workshop. Yeah. And why I knew that I wanted to come to yours was because from watching and observing you online, I could tell that you're not just doing it for the gimmick or the aesthetic or the trend, because I do think that femdom is in this kind of buzzy trend period right now.
Yeah, I always say, and there's no harm to anyone that wants to try it out or wants to do it. Like, we're all different, and I think when I started, I kind of felt like other doms were like getting annoyed at how many people were starting and whatever, and I'm not really bothered. I think we're all so different, but I will say it does seem like everybody wants to be a dominatrix right now. Yeah. Every form of sex work is bleeding into domination, because I think that it does look like the most glamorous job out of everything, you know?
And kind of technically looks easy. Yeah, it looks glamorous and it looks easy because what people see is the 21-year-old girls who've been 21 for like 4 years and they're putting up their middle finger and they're saying, fuck you, pay me. And then they'll post like a screenshot of their coffee being reimbursed or something and everyone thinks it's that simple.
Yeah. I think people think that you are never nice to your clients, and like, I couldn't do that. Like, I'm just I hope people think I'm a nice person. I think I'm a nice person, but like, I couldn't be horrible to someone 24/7, even if they wanted me to be. I'm like, it's gonna exhaust me. It's also boring. Like, I prefer, like, my style of domination is very like flirty and teasy, and like I'm kind of like, I call myself a troll dominatrix. Like, I kind of just like prank them and like, yeah, like how I start my session is I tell them to get into the most submissive position possible, and then I go, "Is that the most submissive?" And then usually they just go lower. Like,
I remember you said in the Dom Confidence workshop that first you tell them to take off their clothes and put it in a neat pile and then get into the most submissive.
no, but if they don't fold the clothes nicely, I make them put them all back on. But if someone's been annoying, or like if someone like takes their t-shirt off and throws it, and they've been nice in emails, I'll be like, okay, pick it up and put it back on and start again. But if someone's been a bit cunty in an email and like a bit like cheeky or whatever, I'll make them take all their clothes off. I'll wait till they're finished completely, and then I'll make them put all back on. And they get really confused. I think they think they're getting kicked out. They're like, and they even reach for their jacket sometimes. I'm like, no, stay right there. But yeah, I'm not. I couldn't do the fuck you, pay me thing, and I just think that you should pay me because
you exist, Pamela. Period.
But because like I'm an emotionally mature dom, I'm deeply compassionate, I'm hardworking, I'm driven, I'm like quite a motivated person, and I think that those characteristics are like impressive things, you know. And I think that like a sub shouldn't want to pay a dom only because she's so horrible to him, but because he's genuinely impressed by her. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with that, and that's what I took from your Dom Confidence workshop, because at the time when I came to your workshop, I was still in the thick of figuring out what is my Dom style. I do know that I like being mean to men, but similar to what you said, it starts to feel quite boring when it's just meanness. I enjoy when you were speaking in the Dom Confidence workshop about being a humorous Dom, I'm quite like that as well. I'm a Sagittarius, so like I'm gonna laugh.
Are you Sag? I'm Aries. Yeah. By the way, I've met way too many Sagittarius Doms. They're like everywhere.
It makes sense though, because I think when you think about the zodiac and you think about Sagittarius is like, people call us rude, but we think we're being honest. And we think we're being funny while doing it. Turns out maybe we're not.
That's an Aries.
Yeah, I think Aries suits being a Dom though. Yeah, because I think Aries suits direct. Yeah. You guys are no time for chit chat. Like, get to the point. Like, impatient.
I know, I'm so bad for it. One of my friends recently said to me, she was like, "You were really annoyed at me the other day, weren't you?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "This text that you sent me," and it's, you know that. No. I was like, okay, maybe you could do this then, or something. And she took it as like, okay, well, maybe you could do this then. Do you know that meme of like the girlfriend and the boyfriend talking, and the boyfriend's like, oh, this is so nice. Like, I'm the boyfriend, and I'm like, and she's like, what do you mean? That's me. I am pretty direct, but like, I think that the people in my life like it. They're like, I just know where I stand with you, and that's good, or whatever. And I think a sub that I'm playing with quite a lot at the minute is quite autistic, and it's kind of great because I'm quite neurodivergent myself, but I can be so direct with him. I be like, oh no, you did that wrong, and he's not like, he's like, cool, on it. And then I'm just like, oh god, thank god you're here. I don't have to. I kind of like, I'm like, the airy fairy language is like, I don't want to explain to you how you've done something wrong through like domination chat. You've just done it wrong, just fix it.
Literally. Do you know what's interesting, Pamela? Like, when I think about the men that I've come across in this lifestyle, a lot of them are autistic, and I'm getting a bit older, and I'm starting to realize I'm more drawn to autistic men, like you said, because of the directness, but also I feel like when an autistic man likes you, depending on why he likes you, he can just form a special interest just for you, and it's like, I get to be the center of your world. Do you get what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get what you
especially mean. The men who are submissive and they love doms, like, it's so interesting. Like, some of the compliments I get from men, it's like, how did you notice that detail? And how long have you been observing that for?
I feel like the people that are most detailed in their compliments to me are like other women, but like autistic men second for sure. Like, yeah. The autistic sub that I'm playing with does notice quite a lot of things about me. Yeah.
So thoughtful.
But yeah. So I've got like ADHD. Maybe I'm autistic. I don't really know. But like, he was just like, you don't have to mask around me. And I already just felt myself like sitting differently in the chair, speaking differently around him. And I was like, this is fucking good. This is like, I don't think I have a dom persona. I think I am just me. Like, a lot of my friends have said that I don't really have a dom persona. I'm quite silly as a person. I'm quite flirty and naughty, and I'm kind of like a camp version of a dominatrix, I think. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
just like big boobs.
Mockery of a dominatrix,
Yeah,
mocking it.
like I'm a caricature of a dominatrix. It's just, like, I've got like big, like, you know, big boobs and like flirty and like, you know, like, yeah. And yeah.
You know what's interesting, Pamela? What we were saying earlier about how femdom has become so popularized. I've always said on this podcast that I feel extremely careful about talking about femdom, even though where relevant, I bring it in, whether it's a conversation about a guy I met or I'm just talking about how the dominatrix mindset can apply to the vanilla life without you being a dom. But I always feel very cautious about talking about it because I think that a lot of women, especially those who message me after hearing me talk about it on the podcast, they're like, so I've just come out of an abusive relationship and I'm overcoming lots of self-hate. But anyway, I'm really interested in becoming a dom. So how do I get started? And it's like, that's probably the worst time to enter this kind of lifestyle because there are a lot of issues at hand here that you need to sort out. I don't really believe in becoming a dom off the back of coming out of something traumatic and not having time to... Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Well, it's the same as like, sorry, I'm such a mental health nerd. But like, you're not supposed to do therapy if you're currently traumatized. So if you've just been traumatized, you have to wait 6 months. Well, imagine reliving trauma while you're traumatized. You'd end up extremely ill. So that's kind of
Explain that.
Well, they just won't give you, like, if you're in the NHS. My mum's a mental health nurse. This is how I know this. Before anyone thinks I'm fucking crazy.
The irony of someone thinking you're crazy for knowing about mental health, but
No, but you know what I mean? Like, they're like, how do you know that you won't get therapy if you're traumatized? But basically, if say you get like hospitalized or something like that, you have to wait 6 months, at least 6 months before. So someone who gets re-hospitalized all the time might find it hard to actually get like proper therapy. They'll do like maybe talking therapy, like basic therapy where it doesn't get deep. It just like, you know, it's like a check-in kind of thing. But yeah, if you're currently traumatized, which means you shouldn't, people who are coming out of abusive relationships, just like relax. Yeah. Just hang out with your female friends.
Emphasis on female
friends. Yeah. Like, I do love my male friends. I don't have many anymore.
What happened,
I don't know, like, I used to be very male-centered, I did. No, I did, like, and the thing is, I'm so not male-centered that I can happily admit it.
What did male-centered Pamela used to look like?
And
behave like?
Constantly thinking about dating, constantly thinking about where I stood with men, not even like romantically, but just like how they saw me and how I could keep them at a distance or keep them. It wasn't always about like having them really close to me. It was also about keeping them at a distance because I didn't have good boundaries, and now I have good boundaries. I don't even think about it. I know that people must think like, oh, you're a sex worker, so you must think about men all the time. I genuinely never think about what men think about me or what men like.
What they like.
I'm actually quite shocked when I leave the house and like go to a bar and a man like shoves into me. I'm like, I can't believe a man would do that, because all my clients are so nice to me that like, yeah, someone pushed me out the way the other day to speak to my friend. Yeah, don't even, I didn't do anything because it was my friend's bar, and that's why, yeah, I was really annoyed. But I was like so shocked, and I was like, I think I'm kind of femdom poisoned in the brain, where I think that like all men should be subs. Like not all men are subs, but like all men are usually quite like chivalrous. Yeah, courteous, well, gentlemen. Because that's my experience. Like in my day-to-day life, like men are so nice to me, and then yeah, like I was telling my friend this, I was like, someone skipped me in the queue at the shop the other day. I still think about it all the time. I'm like, skipping a woman in the queue, but like that's where I'm poisoned in the brain. I'm dominatrix poisoned in the brain. I don't think you should skip anyone, but like, yeah, it's just so stupid. But going back to what you're saying about people want to become a dominatrix, I think they think it'll heal them in some way, and I guess I know my worth more. I am not male-centered anymore. And I think the men that are friends with me know that, like, there's the lines that you cannot fucking cross anymore. And I think when men did... that's male-centered, Pamela. Like, men would cross lines with me, and I would be like, why is he saying these things to me? Like, why is he being flirty with me and not the other girls that he's friends with? Because I had no boundaries. And I know my worth better. I can set boundaries better because you have to. You have to know how to set a boundary if you're a sex worker. You can't be in session with someone if they cross your boundaries. And you can't set one. Like, what are you gonna do? But I do see the appeal of being a dominatrix if you've been traumatized. Like, get that revenge. You know. Sometimes I think about my old bar manager when I'm in session. If I really need to get really angry.
Why do you think of your old bar manager?
Because he was a fucking dick. Yeah. Recently he served me in a bar. Yeah, this is so good, by the way. And I was like, can I get a mezcal margarita? And he's like, can you afford a mezcal margarita? And I said, yeah, actually I can. He was like, are you prepared to spend a lot of money on mezcal or something? I was like, yeah, I actually am. Thank you. Go get me my drink, please.
How dare you?
But he was like, yeah, generally so horrible. But he's the only person I would think about in session. And I actually haven't thought about him in such a long time until I saw him the other day.
What you were saying about, like, women wanting to go into this because they think it will heal them.
Yeah.
I think that's so interesting because that makes a lot of sense as to why people are probably very drawn to it. They must think that this archetype of, like, female power will make them feel the power that they lost in...
Well, in a time where we don't have much power. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a time where we're like everything's so scary. And, like, you know, someone said to me recently that they don't want to get involved in politics or think about politics. They just want to be rich enough that they don't have to think about it. And I was like, whoa.
You have to think about politics even when
I was like, whoa, how could you think that? This person has, like, a family. And I'm like, sometimes I get it. I'm like, imagine if you were so rich that you didn't have to think about anything. I'm not like that. I'm a deeply political person. But, like, I think these people who want to get into sex worker domination see power, money, an easier life. You try hanging out with a submissive man all day,
No, thank you.
and then come back to me and tell me it's easy.
Oh my God. It's so funny you say that because even though I would say I've been doing this for 2 years, I'm still yet to actually have my first proper session.
Really?
Yeah, I only do, like, content with subs. So, like, you see how you said you do the content filming day with the dom? It's like we've done it the reverse way.
Yeah.
Like, I've done lots of content filming days, but I've not actually done a session. So why that is because...
No one can afford you.
Not to be that person, but low key, yeah. I was basically gonna say, like, no one... Like,
You need to tell me your...
yeah, I will tell you. No, so the reality is, yeah, because I'm already a public figure, I add a premium onto everything that I do.
Yeah.
And so it also means that I need to actually make sure that the men who want to serve and see me in person, they need to be super fans.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it the conventional way where for a dom who is doing this full time, genuinely this is their work. Yeah. It makes sense to just be getting clients and whacking it out. Obviously, you'll still screen them, but it makes sense to prioritize generating clients and having a long-term client return base. But for me, it's like when men apply to serve me, I make them pay £100 to send them. Yeah. And I always I make it clear that doesn't guarantee that you're going to see me. It just means that you're paying for my time to read your application. And then what I do is when I get their application, I ask them, like, which of my clips is their favourite that they have bought.
Oh, that's good. I might steal that, actually.
You should do. Do you know what the reason? Thank you, because you know what, I was telling another dom my process, but again, I understand why she was like, because she's.
Well, you want to know what they've looked. Well, I like to know what my clients have looked at.
Yeah, like, I need to know, how did you find me? Like, what were you looking at?
There's clips I made years ago, like our first session. I'm like, what did I even say in that?
Yeah, and they'll tell me the most random clip, and I'm like, you liked that? Okay. Not that it's a bad clip.
I think that says a lot
Yeah.
about what their favourite clip is.
Yeah, so I like to be very, very inquisitive about what they like about me. And then I also ask them to give me 3 reasons why I should consider them for a session. And then what I do is I pretend that they have been shortlisted. Whole time they're the only one that applied in like a month, because I know it's expensive, okay, £100 to apply. I lie to them that they've been shortlisted, and then I say to them, well, you've been shortlisted for a 15-minute audition on video call, and you have to pay £50. and I want you to prepare a list of 5 reasons why I should allow you to session with me. Sometimes they pay.
You are cracking me up.
Yeah, because you know what? Yeah, what's interesting about these men is that like they will pay the £50 fee and then they'll just go. So I'm like, you know what? I made £150. Okay, so I don't feel like I've lost anything. I'm not like gagging for sessions. Like part of me doesn't really want to do it, but I also want to do it. The reason why I don't want to do it is because I'm a bit like I'm a bit shy about the idea of like I got what 2 hours or 1 hour, and it's like I might exhaust myself. The first 5 minutes in, I'll be like, get on the floor, kneel down, don't look at me. Then I'll be like, what do I do now? I'm kind of bored now. like if they want to do, that might be a good way
Do
to
doubles.
ease in.
That's how I learned. Someone did loads of doubles with me, and it was the most fun ever. One time we had a complaint because it was so funny.
Complaint?
Well, no, so funny, so funny. I'm trying to get this man to finish, and we're being really horrible to him. He's like in this chair strapped, and he's like, "You can be a bit more sensual," and I was like, "Oh." And then we spoke to him after. He was like, "Yeah, the humiliation that you two were doing, because we were really good friends." He was like, it felt too real. It felt like you were genuinely humiliating me. I was like, I was genuinely humiliating you. I think I made him hump the wall or something. Like what?
What are your favourite go-tos, like your one-liners for humiliating men?
Ooh, one-liners.
Because you're an Aries, I know you got it in you.
Oh, I love to tell them that like if they've ever had sex with someone, they should phone them up and apologise. I'm like, have you had sex recently? And they're like, no, stop. I can't stop laughing.
Have you had tests?
I was like, when was the last time you had sex? They're like, 2 months ago. And I'm like, you should phone them up and apologise. I'm like, have you ever put that inside someone? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, fucking phone it up right now. Oh my god, you'll love this. I do this dom. I honestly, like, if I have a client that I genuinely think is like not doing his best in life, I will say something. And then this guy phoned me up and he was talking about how he wants his girlfriend to cuckold him and he knows that she doesn't like having sex with him. And instead of like leaning into the fantasy, I was just like, well, do you like do your share of cleaning? He's paying me on the phone and he's like, I could maybe do more. I was like, that's why she's not having sex with you.
Not you fixing their marriage.
No, literally, I was just like, I don't know why I did it. I just got so annoyed in that moment. I was just like, you want your girlfriend to cuck you with someone else because she's not having sex with you. Easy fix to that. Start fucking helping around in the house. I was like, do you know how to turn on the washing machine?
That's a session right there. Get them to do their washing.
I know.
Stand there behind.
I have a group chat of like all these subs and I get them to do different tasks, and one task was I was like, go and deep clean your house, like properly deep clean it. And they were like, okay. They actually said that.
You're changing their lives because you know after your house is deep cleaned, like,
Yeah.
there's a vitality that just you feel in your body.
I don't know if you've watched it, but there's this like short documentary with Slut Ever, and she goes and meets a dominatrix called Lucy Sweetkill. Now, me and Lucy Sweetkill are like such different doms, but she's a huge inspiration because she has this sub called Pain Pup, and she's completely changed his life. She makes him go to the gym. She makes him go and meet friends. He knows how to take care of his house. He knows how to take care of her. And like, when I saw that, I was like, if I'm a dominatrix, that's what I want. How cute!
I love that. I feel like I gravitate towards that more in my dom style because I do see the polar opposite in some doms where they're like, I want you to be broke and empty your wallet. I feel like
Useless.
my man becomes broke, can't give you money anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So I need to get a better job so you can give you more money.
Like, I don't like. I find the unethical thin dom. Like, I'm so brutal. I find it really cringe.
Or like when they'll be like,
take out a loan for me and
yeah, I saw
and
someone
be
say,
and
give
not
you a
pay.
disability allowance. Like, sorry, you want his £400 a month? Oh my god.
That's so funny.
As much as I'm
No, that's
humiliated,
horrible.
that's too far.
That was really horrible. Have you? No. I will get cancelled for this. But have you ever seen the video of the dom hitting us up with her car? She only taps him. By the way, she only taps him, right? But she gets in the car. And she's got like a camera that films both ways. So he's filming, you know, and she like pulls it. She goes, ready or not, bitch. Drives into him.
Have you seen the one where she's tied his dick with rope and then he's in the water and he's not going anywhere because she's pulling it?
I really want to do that. I need to figure out where I could do it though. There's a reservoir in Edinburgh. I might just take a sub out to.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Unethical domination is bad and wrong, but sometimes it's a little bit funny. I would never hit a sub with my car, and it's not okay to hit your subs with cars.
Disclaimer: we do not endorse running people.
No, if she'd properly scalped him, then it would be a different story. But she just tapped him, and he just.
Have you had because that's another thing with this. Sometimes men who are mentally unwell will say do the most ridiculous.
Okay, I'll tell you how to filter that out. No, everyone's had an email from some guy that wants to be castrated. It's actually so boring. Someone, I'm not even going to talk about it. Someone just sent me a video of one on Twitter, and it's how it's blurred, and then you have to click on it. And I was like, ah! But how I filter that out is on my booking form. It says like your soft limits, your heart, like soft limits might be like, I can handle impact play, but like,
as in these are your soft limits.
No, they're soft limits, so they fill it out. Soft limits are like, I can handle this, but like not too hard. Or, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hard limits would be like if someone doesn't want to do any like blood play or whatever. And I put next to it, I do not see subs with no limits.
Yeah, why?
I'm a no limit sub.
Limits.
Like,
So
all right, well, what? Can I kill you? Like, if you've got no limits, maybe I could just punch you in the face.
And rob you.
Yeah, and let me rob you, yeah.
That's what I find extremely annoying about men. And I think that becoming a dom has actually reduced my patience with men. And what you were saying about you actually expect men to be gentlemen, I have that same delusion. Like,
Over deluded.
I'm like, you're not a gentleman?
Yeah.
How can you talk to a, like, I'm using words like lady and gentleman. Like, bring back I'm a lady. Yeah. Why are you talking? Are you okay? So, like,
dating is so weird because you, like, go into session, you're completely worshipped, they're so nice to you, and then you go, and this guy's like, cancelling last minute, and you're like, cancelling on me last minute?
You're going to have to pay a fee for that. You've got to be like, sorry, it's a cancellation fee.
I went on a date once with, oh god, I hope they don't watch this. I went on a date with someone, and we split the bill because I just wasn't arsed. Was it a guy? It was a guy, it was a hookup. And he said something like, whoa, what, ha ha ha, what did you call it? Going Dutch? I said, splitting the bill is not funny. It's not fucking funny.
That's why you brought it up.
Why you bring it up? Don't remind me.
Remind me, actually.
I don't, yeah. I don't mind splitting the bill, just don't make fun of me for it. What the hell?
Yeah, like, sorry about going Dutch. You're not going nowhere, actually.
Yeah.
Going nowhere.
Yeah, didn't see him again. I don't mind splitting the bill. Like, I think it's going to be hard for me to meet the kind of people I like. It's going to be hard for me to meet someone who, like, makes as much as me.
What kind of people do you like?
Just like nerds.
A gentleman, please.
I just like nerds.
I like nerds too.
Nerds, musicians.
You like musicians, Pamela?
I know, I'm really sorry. I'll tell you the lore after. There's some lore. I like musicians. Yeah, the musicians thing, I've realised now that they're just for fun.
Yes.
I'm progressing, like...
Good, because that's what I see them as too. For fun, for guest list.
Guest list!
Guest list!
Yes!
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a guest list girly. Music, I kind of like himbos, but just like... I dated a himbo for like 2 years, and...
Tell the girls what a himbo is.
A himbo is like a male bimbo. And I dated one for 2 years, and he was a sweetheart, but... Yeah, there was one time... Oh, God... Who doesn't watch this? One time I was like, oh, babe, look, the moon is so big tonight. And, like, the moon was, like, if you're looking at the window, it's, like, here. So you just had to, like, peek round. And he went, I can't see it. You can't see the moon. It's in the fucking sky.
Fucking idiot.
But, I like himbos. I'm queer, so I like butches. I like soft butches. I kind of like a goth femme, alternative femme, or like a soft butch. Like if a girl looks like she likes snowboards, skateboards, something like that. But I actually noticed that the musician men that I like and the soft butches that I like, they're kind of similar. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, very, very similar. Yeah, it's funny. And I just like people who are confident. Like, I don't want to make the move. I actually grudge making the move. So just get it together.
Yeah, like even when I go to kink events and subs are there, like I like for them to make the move. Yeah. Like sometimes you can tell that when they want to talk to you, they're just like standing there and like they're kind of just hovering near you. It's like it's either you're gonna say something or I'm gonna ignore you.
Yeah. I find that with queer people, like they're like, I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
I can't do it. Like, just get it together. Come on, talk to me. Like, when it's like, I think, people are just shy, I guess. I mean, lesbians and queer people are just kind of like scared to.
Still girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scared to make the move, but that's, yeah.
Tell me about the work you've been doing in Scotland with decriminalisation.
Yeah. Oh, God. It actually is so much harder than I thought it would be. The plan was always, when I moved back to Scotland, to move back and start doing activism. I had no free time here. I don't know how anyone does activism here. Like, I couldn't breathe in London. You leave the house, you spend £50, But I was like, I'm going to move back to Scotland, live alone for the first time, start being an activist, and like start activism stuff. Because I think that like, while the world is like burning, like activism is just that one thing that I have some control over. If I can just make one tiny positive step, and I do like, to people listening, like, if you feel like so out of control, like the world is burning, join a grassroots organisation. I'm telling you right now, meeting other people who've done work for years and are so knowledgeable is amazing. I learned so much. I joined Scotland for Decrim, which is the grassroots organisation that I work with, last November. It started a year before that, but I joined when they had their first protest, and now I do all sorts of little jobs in it, and I've met so many interesting people who work in like academia or who work in like grassroots organisation like that. That is their job. They work in the charity sector. And the amount I've learned is crazy. But basically what we want is full decriminalisation of sex work in Scotland and hopefully in the UK one day. But the laws are different. That's like one of the issues that Scotland has on its own, and the UK isn't a whole thing on it. There's a woman called Ash Regan who wants to bring in the Nordic model. And for people who don't know what that is, it is criminalising the client but not the sex worker. But what happens when you criminalise the client? All the clients that are, just want to see a sex worker and get on with their day, who have families, they won't see sex workers, or maybe they won't. And all the criminals that were going to hurt a sex worker anyway don't care about committing a crime. They'll continue to try and see sex workers. It'll be harder to get screening information from clients because they're like, what if you're a secret police, like, undercover person or whatever? What if you're being surveilled by the police, which is an issue anyway? Like, if I'm not committing a crime, but the person who comes to see me is, then I'm a witness to a crime, which means I'm brought into the legal system anyway. Then the police could surveil your house. They could, that'll be legal. What else? Every country that's had the Nordic model, by the way, complete failure. 10 sex workers in France were murdered in the first 6 months of the Nordic model. Violence in Northern Ireland has risen up 225%. There was a thing in Norway called Operation Homeless. After they brought in the Nordic model, the government and police basically told landlords of sex workers, you either evict your tenant or we charge you with pimping. So loads of sex workers were made homeless. They say that it's to criminalise the client, but in places like Ireland, actually, I think in every Nordic model country, migrant women are arrested more than clients are. And I think there's only been like 5 convictions in Ireland or Northern Ireland. It's just like, this is a failure, and it's not a harm reduction policy. It's a complete failure, and it harms sex workers, and it's not an effective like anti-exploitation model. It doesn't help trafficking victims. It doesn't really help anyone. Yeah. So Ash Regan has put that bill forward. She is a TERF and a SWERF. Cut a TERF and a SWERF bleeds, like same way around, other way around. She is, that's what she wants to be known for, a women's rights activist who harms women. Ash Regan is a politician in Scotland. You won't find a sex worker that's pro-Nordic model. I got interviewed by a journalist in February, and she actually asked me, she's like, could you help me find a sex worker that would be pro-Nordic model? I was like, well, no, firstly, but you won't find one. Why would someone sign their own fucking death certificate, I'm a pretty privileged sex worker. I come from a working class background, but I'm white, I'm able-bodied, I'm cis, kind of peer straight or whatever. I'm not a single mother. I don't have to pay for childcare. But even I'm scared. Even the sex workers with even more privilege than me are a bit scared. They're like, I don't want to deal with an anxious client. I don't want to deal with having to beg clients for their screening information or explain to them the laws. I don't want clients to have power over me. And currently the law is that 2 sex workers that work together, that's brothel keeping. Are you insane?
So you can't even keep.
You can't keep. So and we have our own tax code. Like, everything we're doing is so legit, and sex work is work, and maybe it's not the same as other work, but
We're still paying taxes.
But we deserve workers' rights. I'm not. When people say, like, you can't say that sex work is like all other work, has anyone ever said that? It's not like other work, but it deserves the same, like, laws and legislation as other work in terms of safety. It's an exhausting job because, you know, I've been misquoted by like a journalist, you know. You email your MSP or your MP and they just don't care. What my MP actually wants to bring the Nordic models to the UK. Yeah, if you can believe it. And constantly getting called a victim, constantly getting infantilized. Sex workers know what we want. We've always known what we wanted, and I don't understand why we are not at the forefront of the conversation. But that is just it, really. And yeah, so currently we're trying to gather evidence to give to the Parliament. I don't think it'll go through.
What, the Nordic model?
I don't think it'll go through, no.
Oh, please.
No. For loads of reasons.
Because the Online Safety Act has passed, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. I think people are like, but it's for children's safety. It's like, okay, now the government decide what porn is. The government can decide that LGBTR is porn. They've censored online Reddit pages where people are looking for advice about sexual assault or an eating disorder or domestic abuse. It's all been censored. The government can now decide anything they want to be censored is porn or not safe for work or explicit. So the people are like, but it's saving the children. It's like, have some personal responsibility and put codes and passwords on devices in the household. I have a teenage brother, and he has his stuff is like, there's loads of apps you can put on devices to check what people are watching. And listen, we've all been kids. We've all looked at stuff online as kids. As much as people at home might think I didn't turn out okay because literally I'm a dominatrix, I think I turned out all right.
You turned out brilliant.
And if you're not having conversations with your kids about online, the stuff that they might come across online, that's not anyone else's fault but you. Yeah, I think that. But also, I do think that, like, I do think that people are really hard on parents in other ways. I don't want to say that, like, I sound like I'm being quite brutal towards parents, but, like, it's a hard job.
I don't think you're being brutal, because even before we had social media, I remember Sky Channel had, like, you know, those channels that's like 999, like, you know, the Babe Station and all that. And I accidentally discovered it because I was just like tapping through all the telly shopping channels, and it got to like, oh, what's happening over here?
No, I remember when I was like on holiday or something, and I was watching TV at like 1 a.m. This thing called Ban This Filth, and they were interviewing like a couple that were having sex in public on stage, like, yeah. And
how old were you?
I was like 10. I'm younger. I was like, what the hell? Why are they having sex in public? I was like, what are they doing? And like, watched it. Yeah, guess how much trouble I got in when the door opened. I was like, little, you know. But you do come across that stuff. Like everyone does eventually.
Yeah, parents just have to. Also, I think it'll be ignorant of anybody who's having a kid in the past 10 years to not accommodate the reality that the internet has dramatically changed, and we have to all do more to protect young people from seeing imagery they shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah, and
sex workers to do that.
Yeah, and it's not just sexual content either. Like, have you read this thing that like boys between the age of 18 and 18 and 23 are as conservative as 70-year-old men?
Where are they getting those values from?
TikTok. Yeah, I got one of my male friends to like make a TikTok so I could send him TikToks instead of like texting the link or whatever. And he said when he was using it, it just was like Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, Charlie, what's that guy?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, who cares? And just all these like right wing men, Trump, Nigel Farage. Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting to hear because I'm so in my own world, my own algorithm. Like my algorithm is just like, leave that man. Here's my three-way multi-cup bra. Like here's this vanilla gourmand oil. Like I'm not seeing any of that shit.
I don't know what my algorithm is. Oh, it's loads of like my friend's just gotten married, so it's loads of wedding content because I'm like, oh, my friend just got married. I'm looking at like wedding content, or like I guess political stuff. I'm that annoying. I used to be that like absolutely crazy social justice warrior, and now I'm a bit more chill. But I think you have to be that to become like not a good person, but like you go through that stage. I didn't turn alt-right. Okay, I think being a social justice warrior was fine, but yeah, I took it too far sometimes. I was that blue-haired feminist, like had the blue hair. Yeah.
You know what's interesting? What you were saying about decriminalisation and the condescending tone you get from women, especially feminists. What I find extremely annoying when people speak to me about sex work is they love to ask me, but is it empowering? And I hate that question because it's loaded and it's supposed to, it's almost like if I say no, it's not empowering, they got their gotcha. But it's like, okay, but what if it's not empowering? Like, is it empowering to brush your teeth? Is it empowering to do your grocery shop?
As well, like people get so upset when you say like, is it empowering what you do in your job? And they're like, but that's not. I'm like, we don't. The whole empowering conversation is so weird because I don't think about if it's empowering or not. I've never until loads of like radical feminists or anti-sex work people online kept throwing the word at me all the time. I'd never thought about if my job was empowering. I just thought, you know what is empowering? Not crying after work, not getting screamed at, not getting paid minimum wage. And I'm sorry to anyone that does get paid minimum wage. I didn't enjoy it, and I thought that I deserved more money at the jobs that I was doing. Was repeatedly told I didn't deserve more money, even though I was doing pretty well. I've only ever been promoted by other women.
Interesting.
Yes. I've actually been purposely not promoted by men. Yes.
Why?
I guess they just don't like the blue-haired feminist. No, I'm kidding. No. There was a job where I was pretty much promised a manager role, and then another guy who had literally been caught stealing from another bar and was done for it and had to pay the bar back like £2,000. He got the manager job over me. This man stole my tips. I'll never forget it. But yeah, like, and now it was like, sorry, this other person's decided you can't have that job anymore. Anyway, who cares? But I promote myself. There's no promotion in sex work, so I do think it's important that we like give flowers to like. I try and like always big up my other sex workers and talk about them and the amazing work that they do as well. And yes, I've never even thought about if it's empowering or not. I didn't want to work a normal job anymore. I don't think like 9-to-5s don't suit me. I have really bad ADHD. I don't like working with men. Like I used to be a musician before I was a dominatrix, and people who know me from that life are like, do you write anymore? I'm like, yeah, I write songs all the time. They're like, do you want to perform? I'm like, nope. I was like, unless I can go back into music, I never have to work with a man ever again. Because there was a point in music where I was like, I don't even know if my songs are good because I think you want to fuck me, but you're telling me my songs are good. I don't trust what anyone has to say anymore. Anyway. But like, I just like being in a literally female-dominated industry. Do you know? Yeah. Funny. I like working with other women. I like working with queer people. I like working with people who are from like similar backgrounds to me, like working class people. Yeah. This is so much better for me. And if it's not for someone else, that's fine. I've not even thought about the empowerment thing. It just is not important to me. All I know is I sleep when I want and I get up when I want and I do whatever I want pretty much whenever I want unless there's a session in between. Do you know what I mean? Like I can be so present for my family, so present for my friends. I really do believe in community. I feel like I'm a good member of society. Does that make sense?
I know what you mean because you're more available for yourself, so you're more available for others as well because you're not weighed down as much.
Yeah. And the reason I got into any sort of sex work was just, I think I am a bit of an exhibitionist. I like to do OnlyFans. Yeah, I'm like, look at me naked. But also, I wanted to go to private therapy. Still going 6 years later. Yeah.
Just ended with my therapist, and we did 6 years.
Oh, don't even mention it.
I feel like I always almost cry when I talk about her, because it's like 6 years of,
Were you 6 years as well?
yeah, like, and she got me through leaving my mum, because I don't speak to my mum
Same.
since like 20. Oh my goodness, are you
Since
serious?
20
2018.
2021.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I've had to speak to her now and then over the years. But I cut her off in 2021.
That was really brave of you.
Very smart of me. It's a good decision. I mean,
It's not easy.
I think when you start like working on yourself, you realize who's like genuinely disrupting your happiness. It's like, okay, I actually need to be happy and well enough to go to work and like make money. If you're making me upset, I can't have you around. And it wasn't just that. It was just like, yeah, I'm sure we can both say, is it narcissistic mum?
Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
Are you a firstborn daughter? Or
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
firstborn
my
daughter, yeah.
gosh.
Oh no, eldest child and eldest
Same.
daughter.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what's your mom's star sign?
Taurus.
Jesus.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
gonna change.
Never. I feel sorry for my mum. She came from a really rough background. And like I've always said, if you just apologise and go to therapy, even if you're still an absolute cunt, that's the password to the door is I'm going to therapy.
No. What they'll do though, the mums we have, they'll go to therapy and lie to the
Yeah,
therapist.
and the therapist will be like, oh my god, your daughter sounds awful. Go home and tell her that she's awful. Yeah. I still obviously love her. I am very like my mum. Like the feistiness is like the like funny punny like side is my dad. And the feistiness like, oh, what did you just say to my friend? Like that is my mum. I have like quite a shy friend, and I sent her like a TikTok yesterday, and it's like when someone like is mean to your friend, it's like a guy storming through, and she was like, "That's so you," and I was like, I don't like. Obviously, if you fuck me off, then I'm pissed off. But if you fuck with my fucking friends, like, yeah, it's like, you just rude to my shy friend.
Yeah. I'm the like, I think there's a link there. Obviously, your firstborn and your firstborn daughter, and you have a narcissistic mom, so it makes sense that you would be defending people and speaking up for people and looking out for people because you weren't looked out. Not that I'm saying that you're doing it because you weren't looked out for, but you know what it feels like to not be looked out for, and you don't want anyone to feel like that.
Yeah, I think my first therapy session, obviously, just was talking a million miles a minute. Was very passionate. I was like, "Do you know anything about XYZ?" Like, my therapist always jokes. She's like, "You're my easiest client, but I thought you were gonna be fucking hard work." Because I was like, "Do you know anything about BPD?" Like, and now she said something about like being in remission with BPD. So like, I don't display the symptoms anymore, but like, I guess the in remission part is like if something really bad happened, it could come back. How long
have you been in remission for, BPD?
I think she told me in December 2022. Funnily enough, a year after I got rid of my mother. But yeah, she's brilliant. But yeah, anyway, the first session we ended, and she said, "I just want to let you know we've covered a lot today, but I just want you to know that I think you drew the short straw with parents." And I was like, that is the most validating thing that anyone's ever said to me. Has anyone ever told you that you were hard work as a kid? My dad hates that. He's like, "You're a fun kid." I hate when she says that. You're a fun kid. He's got his own issues. He's not perfect either, but like, yeah, it bothers him when people say that to me. I don't think I was a hard kid. I think that if you fucking scream at a kid, it's gonna scream back one day, actually.
And I think that the most validating thing someone said to me in regards to my relationship with my mum, they said to me that I was robbed of a mum and that it wasn't my fault. And that really helps me to feel affirmed, because the choice to cut my mum off, I've had a lot of people, because I'm Nigerian and the Nigerian community is extremely judgmental. I've had a lot of people like kind of like ambush me a bit, like a lot of elders ambush me and try to like cajole me into speaking to my mum, telling me, you know, God is not going to forgive you for choosing to not speak to your mum. How can you say that even though she says she's sorry, you don't forgive her? Because it's like, I know my mother more than anybody else knows her. Not only have I lived inside her body, I have had to deal with her for like 24 years straight. So when I tell you she's not going to change, it's because I know she's not going to change. She is like 60 or 61 now. If there was going to be any kind of dramatic change, we have passed the window for that happening. And even if it does happen...
Did you go through a period where, like, you were like, I understand, you know, why you are the way you are, and I'm going to try and speak to you about it? Yeah, and then you're like... yeah, that's why I left.
Because people used to give me the advice of like, oh, just talk to her about how you feel. Oh, yeah, bet. Yeah. So I did it, and it was the worst thing I could have done because it was just a set of deflections and just, you don't know what I've been through. It's like, when I know my mum has been through really hard things. Like, there's always a reason why people are like that. But at the same time...
I know that my mum had a much harder life than me. When I think about it, I'm like, oof, like that.
Especially as you get older, especially as you get to the age where
do you ever get sad that you don't talk to your mum? Because from her side, it must be really sad for her.
That's what really affects me a lot. Because especially because I know for her, it is like, I don't know what's worse, like losing a child, as in they've died, so you can make peace with knowing you're not going to see or hear them again, or losing a child for estrangement, seeing them alive in the world, seeing other people around your child and knowing that your child just doesn't want to talk to you. And you know what? I went down the rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos of narcissistic parents and them speaking to counselors about it, or like even videos that are made for estranged parents who their kids have cut them off, and like seeing how distraught these parents are. But it's like this, despite how distraught they are, it's like, but you caused this. Like now, anytime I meet anybody who tells me they don't speak to their mum, I believe them. Like I don't even care to know why. I'm like, you were pushed to make that choice because it is physically and quite literally biologically abnormal for a child, whether they are an actual child or an adult child of a parent. It's abnormal to be like, I don't want to see my mum, I don't want to speak to her, I don't want to be near her. She's done something and it's taken years. I remember from age 7, that was when I knew that I don't want to be around her anymore. Really? Yeah, she used to lie to me that I was adopted as a joke.
I think what makes me go, actually, you've made a choice, is that when I was younger, I was maybe not a nice person, actually. And I think that if you want to change as a person and like fucking get on with life, you need to accept that maybe you weren't a good person at times. Like my mum was traumatized, she traumatized me, I was traumatized, and I was an absolute cunt. Like just a really bad friend, a really bad partner. And I was like, I cannot have kids and be like this. I have to get a fucking grip right now. And sometimes when I first went to therapy, I just was so ashamed of like things I'd said to people, things I'd done. And, you know, I'm not sitting here being like, everyone should forgive me for all the bad things I've done. And or like, maybe I don't fully, I forgive myself, but on a base level to just move on. I know what you mean. Not that I've been like abusive or evil. I maybe making myself sound like just being like not nice to your friends, or just being selfish, because you're so traumatized, your brain can only survive if it thinks about itself. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have time to like be a good friend or be a good partner or whatever. My brain was like surviving all the time. But now that I've came to this place where I'm like, yeah, I fucked up here, I fucked up there, and I can accept that now, and it's fucking raw. It's really hard to be like, I was selfish, I was mean, I was, you know what I mean? Like it's hard because you don't want, that's the last thing you want to think about yourself. But when I look at my mum, I'm just like, vulnerability will set you free. If you can deal with the shame of yourself, if you can deal with the shame inside, you can move on, and you can just accept that sometimes people are bad and you were bad, but you've done the work and you're actively trying to be a better person. But some people just want to live in their victimhood. The other week, I was a bit upset. Sometimes if life's just hard, I'm just like, my life would be easier if my mum was fucking nice to me, you know? Yeah. You get it. And I said to my therapist, I was like, my mum has chosen her victimhood over a relationship with her daughter. And she was like, that is heavy. I did cook there. But like, that is it. They've chosen their victimhood because it's more comfortable than actually just getting that raw feeling.
That's what makes it feel more hurtful. It's almost like having a mum that's addicted to drugs, and it's like your mum chose the drugs over you. And it's like, in our mums' minds, I'm sure they want both. They want both the victimhood and to be able to have the relationship with us. But unfortunately, their relationship with us is funneled through their victimhood. So it's never going to be a functional relationship. And like what you were asking me earlier about, like, do you think about how it feels for your mum? I think about it all the time. I think about it. I was watching, have you seen The Last Showgirl by Pamela? So Pamela Anderson is in it. And essentially, without any spoilers, her character is a mother who chose to be a showgirl throughout her life, and she had a baby. The baby grew up to be a young adult like us, the age we are now, and throughout this young adult's life, she just never saw her mum. All she would see was like the occasional picture of her mum covered in feathers. And this show that her mum was performing in was coming to its last run after 20 something years. So the daughter finally goes to see her mum's show. But it's like, it's at this point, it's a dingy show in Vegas now. No one's really going to watch it because all of the showgirls are old. Yeah. And it's so layered because it's like, as a burlesque performer myself, I understand finding a passion that you're so passionate about and you're just, the whole world is about it. But then you have a child and you do kind of like neglect your child a bit and just like let other people take care of your child while you follow your dream.
I think I've been thinking a lot about like if I want to have kids recently. I don't know why, it's just like coming up a lot in my brain. And like, I think there's a balance between not losing your personality, not losing yourself. So like, you know, still doing your hobby, still finding time for yourself and like, you know, wine night with your girls or whatever, but also just being a present parent. You need to find the balance. And I think that some people just miss the mark and don't find the balance.
So I'm around a lot of small children through like family, because, you know, you start to get to that age where everyone's having kids around you. So now you're just an auntie. And I've realized from being around them, and when I go home and I'm like, oh my God, I love them, but I'm just glad to be at home and not have any more kids in my house. And it made me realize I don't think motherhood would suit me in the life I have now, because I recharge by being in my own space. And I feel like even when the kids have been naughty sometimes and I'm telling them off, it's like I can feel myself getting more and more angry and losing my patience more and more. And it's almost like they can tell I'm losing my patience, so they're just doing it more to annoy me. Like, I remember one of the kids, I was trying to put a diaper on her, just like the pull-up diaper. It doesn't require the straps. And it's like she was deliberately, like, you know when you deliberately release the tension in your knee so that you just like fall to the floor? She was deliberately doing that repeatedly. And she was like 2 at the time. And it's like, I don't know how to tell this 2-year-old that I just need to put your diaper on. You're pissing me off. And it's in those moments where I'm like, the idea of motherhood, love it, but the reality won't suit me. And this is the thing, it's very contentious when I speak about it online, when I say that for me to be a mother and to have a kid, I would require a partner that pays me a lot of money. Oh, really? Yeah, and also and also just make sure that we have all the help we need. Yeah. Like, I still want to have the life I have.
Yeah. I saw this thing recently that was like dehumanizing broke men as classist.
Oh, is that from that movie? I saw that too. I think it's what you're referencing is the movie Materialist, the director.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And I was looking at it and I was like, I come from a working class background and I have 2 parents. One had me full time and managed to go back to uni, get a degree, and is now very high up in the NHS, mental health sector. One of them is a DJ. One of them had all the time in the world to make good money. By the way, all his friends are like millionaires.
And he's the odd one out.
And he's the odd one. Well, they all came from like working class backgrounds. One of my dad's friends, I love this guy. He's like a sweetheart. Literally used to go to my granny grand's house to get fed because his family had nothing. Wow. He is now, I think he's a millionaire. Like, you had the system back then was set up for you, and you fucked it. So this idea that
we are dehumanizing.
I'm not dehumanizing someone. Like, you can be working class, you can come from a bad background. I'm not saying that system is set up for everyone, but there's a difference between being broke and not wanting to go further in life. There is a difference. And for me, I'm not birthing a child to someone who isn't as motivated as me and who isn't as driven as me. And they can come from any background. They could have any job right now, but when we have a fucking child, get it together. Yeah. I grew up with, like, you know, imagine your dad's like, actually just deep that for a minute. Imagine your dad's a DJ. Like, yeah.
Does he still do sets?
Yeah.
I love this for him.
Love it.
To be
fair, it's so funny because, like, he obviously works in the music industry a little bit, and I used to get all my guest lists from him, but now I get my guest lists from people I know. And someone asked him if he was, usually they're like, oh, you're so-and-so's daughter, and someone up to him was like, oh, you're Pamela's dad, and he was like, I call him Edinburgh's first socialite. Like everybody knows him. Yeah, it's funny. But he's a DJ. But like obviously I love him. But like, you had 2 kids and you didn't like get a real job. All your friends are like opening businesses and like doing great. But it's just that mindset to be super successful or whatever. But yeah, that bothered me. I'm like, well, I'm actually fucking working class. I came from shit all, and I've managed to make I managed to become some level, you could say, successful. I got it together, and I'm not saying that everyone can. Mental health and addiction, and there's different things that can hold you back. I definitely don't want to sit and say.
You're saying, Pamela, though, because I also come from a working class background, and I've fully worked myself to where I am by myself. And I think that in this context of the conversation we're having about this quote flying around on the internet about we are dehumanizing broke men by not wanting to date them, I think that sometimes we conflate someone being broke with them being noble and hardworking, and they're just so hardworking, but things aren't working out for them, and so don't they deserve love? And I think that there's a difference between that conversation and then there's actually men who just enjoy being plebs. Do you know what a pleb is? Like, you just want to you're just content with the mediocrity, and they would rather distract themselves with other things like women and going out and not really making anything of themselves.
Well, that's what DJs do.
Unfortunately, that's why DJs are a huge no for me. Like, in terms of dating, I only sweet them up just to be on their guest lists, but I would never date a DJ.
Well, I can't because my dad is one, kind of traumatized. But yeah, I mean, it's such a difficult conversation because you do sound classist when you say stuff like that. But like, I'm only saying it from my childhood experience to my adult experience. I'm not saying it as someone who like makes a lot of money now, so like keep up, boys. It's like I'm just not interested in that.
I don't expect or demand for people to change their financial social standing for me. I'm saying that I think why people call it classist is because it immediately sounds like what you're saying is in the statement, I don't want to date broke men. It basically sounds like you're saying broke men don't deserve love. I'm saying they don't deserve my love. There's someone else that will love them. And I think that dating is about compatibility. Dating is about familiarity and similarities with each other. And I've done it before where I've dated a broke man because I felt sorry for him. I had sex with him out of pity and I hated myself
Sex for pity.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe.
Yeah, like, I've come very far. Like, I used to be a pick-me.
I don't think I was a pick-me. I was male-centered, but I do want to say I was never a pick-me.
You had some standards, girl. I had none, okay? Like, I was...
And maybe that's why you've had such a visceral change. Yeah. You're like, you were such a hard pick-me, and now you're like, I'm actually completely... Yeah.
I'm like, even though... I wouldn't even consider myself a hard dom. Like, there's so many things I don't do as a dom. Like, I love ball busting, but, like, needles, I would faint. I love to, like...
I love needles.
See, that's probably I need to learn from you. Like,
there's this performer who's like a torture porn performer who said that, like, I just saw this little clip and she was like, some people when they see blood they're like disgusted by it because your brain is not supposed to see blood, then it's danger, it's like but some people feel like, oh my god, that is like life in front of them, and I think I'm that person. I'm like, blood. Yeah, I'm like, that's so exciting. I don't feel like turned on by blood or anything like that, but I'm just like, blood. That's so exciting.
Vampire. Pamela. It's so interesting because, like, even with, like, medical fetish, and we were talking about castration earlier, I only learned this recently from one of the dom girls that, like, what they actually do when they're, like, doing castration plays is that they inject, I think they either inject or they rub, like, a numbing cream around the lower area of their body, and then they put, I think it's, like, a saline injection, but then by the time the numbing cream has or the numbing injection has done its thing, you feel numb down there anyway. And then they like cut the guy on his thigh.
Yeah. I've never done that. What I did when someone asked me for castration fetish,
you actually cut it off.
I cut it off. No, I'm kidding. What I did, people are gonna feel sick. Pre-warning, guys. I'm gonna talk about stapling balls. I basically pulled the skin together And then I'll send you, if you're not, oh, you're scared, so I won't send you a picture.
No, tell me, I'm listening. I've seen horrible things, so it's fine.
No, I was going to say I was going to send you a picture, but I won't. I'll leave you alone. But I just basically pulled the ball's skin over and then stapled down so it literally looks like a pussy.
Oh, I saw that!
You saw it?
It was actually well done.
That guy was so scared.
Keep your hands so steady doing that. Cause
Oh, he's fucking shit. Like, he's just like, he was so nervous. He was like, oh my god, oh my god.
All the staples going in.
Well, yeah, but he was really worried that it would, skin staples are literally just like little claws. They don't really pierce your skin. They just like hold on.
Oh.
It might pierce a tiny bit, but it doesn't go right through the skin. Yeah. It'd be really hard to. It'd be so hard to get them out if that was the case. Anyway, he was fucking shaking like a leaf. It was so funny. And he thought that the staple was going to go through his skin and hit his bell end. And I had to explain to him, like, look at the look how tiny it is.
You're the most insensitive nurse.
Yeah.
Look at the staple.
I know. But he had mentioned he wanted to do it, and I was like, "This is what I was like. I know you're into castration fetish." Funnily enough, he used to be like really right wing, and he was telling me, and he actually said that the castration fetish was part of like the deep emasculation that he wanted. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I quite like talking to my clients about like if they want to stuff like that, because I'm like, okay, how did you get into it? How did you get out of it? But yeah, anyway, stapled up his pussy, and then he was like. I was like, do you feel proud of yourself? Like, I'm very, like, I'm like, proud of yourself? Like, you took all these staples. And he's like, yep, you can take them out now. You can take them
out. Wow.
Yeah.
What? So is castration one of your favourite fetishes?
No. I just, like, anything that's, like, intense pain. Because I don't have a dick and balls. I'm like, I don't even know what it feels like. Right. But that is so, like, ball busting. I'm like, don't know what it feels like. I did needles through someone's nipple recently. And I actually felt a bit sick after. Because I have nipples. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm like, well, I've got both of them pierced and I know how fucking awful it is. But yeah, when it's like CBT specifically, I love CBT because I'm like, I have no idea how this feels. That's so interesting that, yeah, cock and ball torture.
Not cognitive behavioural therapy.
No. Whenever I tell my friends, they're like, what do you do at work? I'm like, oh, like CBT. And they're like, CBT. And I'm like, not that type of CBT. But yeah, ball busting is a favourite. CBT is a favourite. I like impact play. I like humiliation, but usually with another dom. Sometimes
makes it more fun. There's
only a couple of subs that I can really get into humiliation with, just myself, because I know that they can really take it. Like I can like say anything, they're like, yeah. Like maybe I like humiliation if you're really just genuinely like super submissive and kind of like pathetic, but not, you know what I mean? Not pathetic as in like a human being, but pathetic as a sub. Yeah. What else do I like? I'm into bondage a little bit right now. I'm kind of like interested in the rope a little bit. I'm okay at rope. I can tie someone up, but I'm not like a rope artist. Bondage.
Like Sophia Rose.
Yes, she's so good. She's like a nurturing teacher as well. She taught me, and I remember saying to her, I was like, I feel like a kid when you can't learn something and you want to cry, and she was really nice about it. You know when like you're trying to learn something and then you're just not picking it up.
I felt like that throughout my whole childhood.
Yeah, same.
And like I still get like, even when I go to dance classes, that feeling comes back. There's been times I've actually walked out of a dance class to just go cry in the toilet.
So hard to learn a new skill as an adult. You just feel so like embarrassed. You're like, oh, do you know what? I'll just go. It's fine.
Stupid, I can't do it.
But yeah, I've been learning a bit of rope from Sophia Rose. I learned medical play or medical fetish stuff from this one called Madam Li Ying, who is just like the sweetest dom. She's so like, I'm like, who the fuck am I? And she's like, I love this tweet and I love that tweet. I'm like, oh my god, you're so nice, because she's such a sadist that I'm like, you're the sweetest sadist I've ever met. But she taught me some like needle play and CBT and stuff. Yeah, I want to learn the more extreme end of things, because I just think the psychology behind it, I'm like, anything that I'm like, how did you get into this? Quite often, when I ask my clients, I'm like, how did you realise you had this kink? They'll say like, oh, I was humiliated for it in childhood.
Well, yeah, like I get guys.
High school, yeah.
Interesting. I've had a lot of guys tell me that they realised that they were submissive because on the playground the girls would like push them on the floor and then like kick them, and they just kind of secretly liked it. I'm like, what? That's so interesting. Yeah. Some of them say they had really horrible mums, and I'm like, oh, tea. But...
yeah. I like the psychology behind. This whole thing about like BDSM is abuse, like the area of your brain where like pain is and the area where your brain where pleasure is are like right next to each other and they like cross over sometimes. Like it's just, I think everyone is getting really conservative and everyone needs to get really woke right now. Everyone needs to chill out.
Everybody get woke right now.
Everyone get woke right now. Like just constantly, that's what my TikTok feed is, because I fucking argue with them. The radical feminists are like, BDSM is porn, sex work is misogynistic, and like, if you're a sex worker, you're like feeding into misogyny, blah, blah, blah.
Or do you get the one, people say this to me all the time, but aren't you concerned for these men's mental well-being? Like recently...
I'm the one that's nicest to them.
Probably. And also, because I was talking about Findom the other day, because I recently have been like trying my, like experimenting with Findom a bit. And I'm learning how Fin subs behave. They are absolutely unhinged. Like, they're the ones who will send you money and ghost you. So then I've been...
They come back and they give you
it's
more.
so weird, Pamela. Like, anyway, so I was talking about this like a couple of days ago on my stories about men who will send you money and just fuck off. And then I've had women being like, but don't you think those men are mentally ill and they're going to stalk you and kill you one day? And it's like, you know, a man doesn't need to send me money to kill me, you know? He could just do it now if he wanted to. But also... I find that even in the wider conversation about BDSM and kink, especially as a dominatrix, it's often with a shamey undertone when they're like, but don't you think that you're taking advantage of someone who's mentally ill?
I don't think that people who are kinky are mentally ill. Like...
there are a lot of conservative people who are also mentally ill and they're not kinky.
Yeah. Yeah. I told a male friend that I do ball with and he was like, that could be dangerous. I was like, yeah.
It is. That's why I like it.
Who hates risk? Do you know what I mean? Like, God forbid there be an element of danger in my life. Fucking hell.
The girl kicks a man in the nuts.
Yeah, I know. Do you get, but are you safe?
Oh, I get that.
Do you think you're smarter than me? Do you think that you, as a not sex worker who's never done sex work, thinks that you are smarter than me, a sex worker?
Screening the men they meet on Hinge.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know the thing I didn't do? I never did online dating. I never met anyone off an app before I was a sex worker because I was too scared. Became a sex worker, got really savvy and was like, now I know what I'm doing. I can meet someone off apps. Yeah.
Because I hate the safety thing because it's almost like the people who are asking me about safety, it's always people who they'll be the first to just do something spontaneous with a man they just met on Hinge or Bumble. Yeah. And when you talk about screening, they don't know what that is. And secondly, it's almost like when they're asking you about your safety, they're not asking so they can help you be more safe. They're asking in a judgmental way, almost to be like, you know, all this stuff you're talking about, you know, one day it's going to bite you in the ass. Yeah. Like, they kind of want to see it happen. They want to see us get killed. They want to see us lose our money. They want to see us finally get choked back by the man who we're put on a leash.
Yeah. I mean, I've also had it from men, be like, I just want to know that you're safe. It's like, do you know what your homeboys are up to? Like, do you know what your friends are up to? Do you know what your fucking best friend is up to when he's in bed with girls, actually? Mind your fucking business of what I'm doing and focus on the men in your life that are abusers, are sexually abusing the women in their life. And I looked at this person who I'm not going to get into it, but like, I was like, you know what your friends are up to. So like, don't talk to me about safety. Listen, I wouldn't have to feel unsafe if you and everyone around was doing your fucking job and holding men accountable. We hold men accountable. We have no other option, you know? So, yeah, I was just like, I'm safe, don't you worry. The thing is, there's things you can't tell them that you do.
Yeah, like, I don't like talking. I mean, some doms do it and I hate, not even just doms, just sex workers. I hate seeing them talking about screening process online. Like, stop telling them about the stuff we use because now they're going to...
Yeah, someone was like, ChatGPT is telling them how we screen. And I was like, oh, here we fucking go. So I checked and they don't. They have a process to anyway. But yeah, I hate to say it, guys, but sex workers are smarter than the average person. Like, street smart, emotionally smart. Like, we deal with people from all walks of life. We deal with people who are like autistic and neurodivergent, who are quite a lot older, we deal with, like, you know, I have leftist clients, I have conservative clients. This is a guess. I don't talk that much about politics with my more conservative clients. But, like, we know how to talk to people from all walks of life. I actually think that waitressing and bartending helped me a lot. I used to work in a dive bar that was genuinely, like, an insane asylum. Like, everyone who got barred from all the bars nearby would come in. And it was, like, schizophrenic people and stuff would come in.
What kind of bar is this?
A dive bar.
What's a dive bar? Like, you go diving?
No, like a dive bar, like just a piece of shit bar.
Oh, is that what you call that?
Yeah, dive bar. Maybe like, yeah, just like a small, tiny bar, dark and dingy, It's so fun to work at. But we had like people who generally were schizophrenic, and like I think from having to deal with people who are like quite mentally ill. Not that I think my clients are mentally ill, but like that set me up good, you know? You have to deal with like difficult customers in a restaurant who fucking want to just complain and be a little cunt today. And then you go into session and you've got a maybe not a difficult client, but someone who has like more needs than others, or is just like you just don't, or is nervous, for example. That's a great example. Like a client who's super nervous and is like.
How do you navigate that? A really nervous client.
I'm just a nice person. I just chat away to them, and then they eventually. So many of my clients, they not overshare. I'm an overshare, so don't worry about it. But like they share so much, and then they'll be like, "You're so easy to talk to," and I'm like, "Yeah."
The whole time they didn't ask you a single question about yourself, but go off.
My retirement plan is to be a therapist. So like I want to do this until I'm in my like 40s or 50s, and then be a therapist as like a semi-retirement plan. I think I would be a good therapist.
You would be, because you have yeah, and the reason why I say that is because the one thing that, like, despite the love I have for my therapist, the one thing that I found a little bit like uncomfortable to talk about with her, and not uncomfortable because I didn't want to go there, but because there was like a limitation in her worldview, I want to say. When I would talk about men and money, and I would speak about dating from the position of, I would only want to be with a man who has money if I'm going to be with a man, or else I'll just be by myself. Like, that has to be what makes it worth it for me. But her perspective would always be like, but what about like,
What about love?
yeah, and it's like, but this is about love. I love myself. That's why I want the best for myself. And I just think that's the one place where we weren't butting heads, but I learned to just stop bringing up men and dating in therapy, because I felt like my therapist just didn't really get.
It's difficult because I feel like me and you are slightly different. I feel like I've always never wanted to be with someone who was too different from me. So like someone who's like super rich, I feel like that's too much. I feel like that's actually power over me, because then they could hold it above me. I kind of just want to meet someone who's on my level and is my best friend.
Yeah, especially the best friend part.
The best friend part is really important. But they obviously have to just get a grip and try and make as much money as me.
To fucking get a grip.
But like, I'm a romantic, and I feel like, yeah, sometimes I feel like therapy brained about my friends, and I'm trying not to do it to you. But like, I don't know. I feel like maybe other things haven't kept you safe in life, and money has.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, for me, there's like added layers to it, like being a black woman and knowing that the likelihood, because even my dating experience, especially becoming a dom, has changed so much. Like, a lot of black men, they don't feel as comfortable to date me because they feel like they can't have power over me, because it's like, oh, no fun, you're a dominatrix. Like, they like the idea of it, but then the reality is they can't use the usual mind tricks they use on women on me. So it means that I date outside of my race as well. So in the likelihood that I date a white man, he has, like, I'm needing reparations, I'm needing properties in my name, I'm needing land in my name, I need money in my name. I want to see my name on those documents. What are you leaving for me when you die? That for me is, again, like how I approach femdom as in a political way. It's the same way I see dating. I see it all politically, and I think that money is power, and I completely understand why a lot of women are cautious about dating men who have money, because of how men can weaponize that. But for me, my perspective and position has always been, as a woman, you should always have your own money, and you should like use men's money to grow your money. Like, that wasn't that the whole point, girls? Like, what else are we doing with the money, girls? Like, I'm always confused when I meet women who, they have a thing for dating men with money, but they haven't used that money to
Grow themselves.
Yeah, they've they're still in that same place of dependency, and they're just buying themselves nice things. Of course, get yourself a sweet treat. But I think that we all need to be smarter about what we want our futures to look like. Like, the fact that you're already thinking about your retirement. For me, it's like, you know what, same. Like, I'm 30 now. 10 years I'm going to be 40. Well, I want to live a very relaxed life when I'm 40. So I know that what I do in my 30s now is going to set the tone for my 40s. Like, no more playing around anymore. Like, even with femdom, it's like, okay, I'm glad that I started when I was like 28, because my brain's fully developed. I know what I'm getting myself into here. But I know that in the next 10 years, I'm going to have a you know, I might have me a nice like 100K month or something like that. Like I'm manifesting it. But I'm not in a hurry to make any of that happen because I've got 10 years to just see what happens. But I do see myself genuinely having my own money and having multiple men who also have money. Like compound it all. Yeah. Like a supervillain. Wow.
I think when I was younger, I was like, I would never marry without money or whatever. But yeah, I think there's something, there's something about that makes me feel like I'm too romantic. I just want to be.
Too romantic mean?
Like.
And do you think that money and romance can't coexist? Is that what
Oh no, 100% they can coexist. I think. I want to think about my relationship as if we're just two humans, not man and woman. Does that make sense? I don't want to think about the power imbalance. Okay, I'll just admit it. I have a partner.
You have a partner?
I have a partner. Yeah.
Oh, was this something that you was keeping secret?
Well,
we were like, fine.
Well, sometimes you don't want to say that you have a partner if you're a sex.
No,
sometimes you don't want to say it because you're a sex worker and your clients might find it weird. But a couple of my clients know.
I assumed that you had a partner. I mean, most times I know they have a partner.
But no, I've kept it quiet for a year.
Okay,
anyway,
thank you for the exclusive.
This person that I'm with has female friends, queer friends, is so well liked.
So he passes the vibe check.
Like, everybody loves him. He came to my sister's wedding. It took me half an hour to talk to him because everyone just swarms towards him. Everybody likes him. He works extremely hard. He is politically on fucking point, and he gets as mad as me about stuff, and he's not just like, yeah, babe. He has his own fucking opinions. I don't have to tell him shit. He obviously has learned a bit about sex work, and he can handle a conversation with my sex work friends. By the way, very fucking hard to do. And he's so driven and motivated. But when we met, he was studying.
Is he younger?
No, I know everyone thinks he's younger. He just studied later in life. And he's got this, I don't want to say too many details about him, but he's got a pretty fucking good degree, and but he was studying, he had no money, and we would always split the bill, and then there was times where I'd make quite a lot of money in a week, so I'm like, I'll take us out. And for a while I was like, how do I feel about this? And recently, he's making more money than me, and I said to him recently, I was like, have you ever treated a girl like this? He's like, not really. It is fun though. And
what do you mean by treated a girl? As in, like, he's covered?
Like, he is covering like dinner bills. Like, he's bought me clothes. He said like, oh, I know that you're not, like, summer is really quiet for sex work because everybody's on holiday with their families. So he's been like, I know that you're a bit stressed right now and you've just opened the dungeon, like, if you want your nails done or whatever. He did say, he was like, I'm not going to pay your rent because I think that's a different dynamic. But, like, I want to support you in this way. And I was like, I like this, and this is what I'm comfortable with. And
I like that he suggested it as well.
Yeah, 100%. We were in a shop and I was getting like a pair of Levi's or something. And he's like, I'll get this. And I was like, oh, they're £100. Like, like, I've never been treated by a man, so I was like, £100. He's like, yeah, I know how much Levi's cost. I was like, okay. And then he took to lunch after, and I was like, this is so fun, but like, I don't actually like that dynamic full time. It was fun for that day, but like, if he was constantly like paying for stuff, I just feel like I wouldn't feel like I owed him something. There's just something, maybe it is the working class thing in me, but I like to think that we're a team. You make money and I make money, and we're gonna build a fucking empire. And he is middle class. He's not raised middle class, but like middle class, like
entry level middle class.
I don't really know. He just like, he's not a spoiled brat. He didn't go to private school, nothing like that. Just like was more well off than me as a kid. Like, had a different experience of childhood or whatever. But like gets it, just deeply gets it, and I have never respected someone so much in my entire life that I've dated. Aww. He is just like,
I like him for you.
Oh no, you have to meet him. He is the fucking best. He's very like,
he's gonna be chuffed listening to this episode.
I know he will listen probably. And like all my friends like him. I don't like. He's the kind of boyfriend that like they're like, oh, bring him, and I'm like, I hate all my friends' boyfriends. No, I'm kidding. God,
that's so real though. Joking.
Joking. Yeah. And I just feel like sometimes I think what I have now is ideal. Like we're a team, and we really support each other. And I don't see. I've had relationships before. And I see the misogyny in this relationship. Even like emotionally, like I am a bit. I've went to therapy for 6 years. Obviously, I'm a bit more emotionally mature than him, and he's avoidant. But when I'm like, you're being avoidant, he's like, he will sit through that uncomfortable feeling, and he'll like communicate, even though it feels kind of minging for him. And I'm like, this is impressive. Someone I called you avoidant, and you're forcing yourself not to be. That is impressive.
Be avoidant, and they would have that same response because it isn't the avoidance natural. Clearly, extremely. And isn't that ironic though? Like the avoidant mom, and then you have like, I mean, I don't know if you have a past of being anxious attached.
I'm disorganized. So when someone's secure, I'm either anxious or avoidant. And if someone's avoidant, I'm anxious. And if someone's anxious, I'm avoidant. It's fucked up.
Do you know what's interesting with me? Yeah, like for the majority of my adulthood, I was anxious attached. And now I genuinely, I'm not saying this to be like, but like genuinely, I'll say I'm secure now. However, this is the thing, you can be secure, but then if you're talking to someone who's presenting traits of avoidance, like,
You do start to second guess yourself.
yeah, so that's why I'm like, once I feel that brief feeling of second guessing, I'm like, I just know this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Because I've worked so hard, Pamela. I've worked so hard to get to this place of being secure. Honestly, like, and that's why I try really hard on the podcast to like walk people through how I got here, because someone listening to me without knowing anything about my background, they would just think like, where do you know this from? Or like, you sound so closed off in your perspective. But it's because I have reached this perspective from knowing that how I used to be just isn't going to work, and it wasn't going to work. And I saw the kind of mom that I was raised by, and it's like, now that I'm a full adult, 30 years old, I'm like,
Was your mom a single mom?
she might as well have been.
Oh, really?
Like, my dad was there, but she was like, now that I look at it, I'm like, she was just, it's that classic thing of being a married single mum.
Okay, I'm understanding you a little better now.
Yeah, it's making sense, right? And the thing is, it's so crazy that we're talking about this, because I didn't know that about you, but it's like, I'm glad we were able to talk about that, because I very rarely speak about my bad relationship with my mom, partially because, because you know what?
I think there's something though about being vulnerable as dominant women. Like they expect us just to have these like perfect shiny legs beforehand. Like, how do you think I ended up like this?
Like, where do you think I got inspiration for the punishments?
But like, I think being like a sex worker and being a dominant woman and being vulnerable is quite radical and quite, yeah, I think it's good. And I think it's great that you talk about this stuff, because there's someone at home, like, listen, I, didn't realize what a narcissistic mum was. And then I saw things online, and I saw things about like all the things that I'd went through. And I was like, oh, I'm not the only one that went through this. You might have someone at home that's like, actually, you know what? I've been thinking about ending my relationship with my mum, and it seems like this person's really happy. Or they might be like, actually, like, I'm going to sit my mum down and have a chat with her. Or they might just be like, oh, I'm not a freak. I'm not like, just because we went through the same experiences, and they might feel like more normal,
Yeah.
That's why I'm an oversharer, because I'm just like, I know how it feels to feel shame. And now I don't feel shame. And like, I'm going to talk about it like it's so normal so that no one else feels shame.
Yeah, and that's why for me it's like, when I do speak about my relationship with my mom, I try really hard to not speak about it from a place of like bashing her, because I know that's how she's gonna take it. Like, I'm sure sometimes she looks me up online, and I remember in the first period when I moved out and I was doing like podcasts and stuff, and I'd mention I have a narcissistic mom and I don't talk to her, and then she would like, sometimes she would send me like text messages, just like, just angry text messages. You're calling your mother a narcissist. You're saying bad things about the woman who gave birth to you. And it's complicated because nobody wants to believe they're a bad mom. And also, I've never been a mum before, so it's not my place to necessarily judge someone's parenting.
I think as you get older, you're like, oh, actually.
I can give my Yelp review,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't give 5 stars. Just saying, like, I wouldn't give 5 stars.
Have you found that as you go older and you're like, when your friends are having kids, and you realize how hard it actually is, that you're like, okay, you're still a narcissistic mother, but actually it is pretty fucking rough, actually. To be like, well, my mum was a single mum, and your mum, like, sounds like she didn't have much help.
As well.
Yeah. It is hard.
And that's why I don't want to be a mum.
More sympathy as I get older.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, unless it is the exact conditions I have listed, I'm not doing it. And the thing is, if I don't meet the man who's going to create that life for me or create that life with me, I am happy being single and child free. The fact that I'm around small children has actually made me appreciate my child free life more. Like, I put the key in the door and I can just. No one's going to ask me what they can eat.
Yeah, I have like a family member that's had kids, and I have a few friends from high school that have had kids, but like my friends are all pretty child-free friends. Yeah, yeah. I really respect when I meet someone they're like, I am not gonna have kids. I've already decided. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like that's you probably shouldn't if you don't know, but also if I get I really would preferably like to. If I get my shit together. But I will not bring a child into this world unless there is a room available for them, money available for them, and they are set up. And there's a father that's going to show the fuck up. Something I appreciate about my partner.
That's not for your therapist.
No, we're not. But one thing I appreciate about him is that I just know he'd be a good dad. Like, if you met this man, he would be a good dad. Like, this is not a man who's, I'm going to clean the house and he's going to do nothing and blah, 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 blah. He is cleaner than me. He's more organised than me. And, like, I think that is something, we've both said that. I'm like, why do we love each other? He. Like, let's talk about love. And he's like, oh, you'd be a good mum. And I'm like, I think you'd be a good dad. And, like, that's so nice. I know, I'm all loved up. It's actually disgusting.
I love seeing women be... The thing, right? A lot of people think I'm like a Scrooge, like against love and marriage. But actually, like when I see... So recently, this is...
You can appreciate it, but it's...
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it for what it is because like they've been on their own journey. There's this lovely fitness brand owner or wellness brand owner, I should say, Grace Beverly. Her fitness brand is called Tala, and and she recently got married, and it's just like, like I watched her 10-minute speech on Instagram for her like wedding vows, and like just watching her whole process and just vicariously living through her enjoyment and excitement as a bride to be, and just watching it all happen for her. It's like I love seeing women being loved. Like her partner is like how you're describing your partner. Like the way that she describes him is like how you described your partner. Just a gentleman, a man, a whole ass man. Okay, Zeddy.
I've never been that girl though. It's like my man, but like honestly, and like he just came out. Do you know what? I said to my therapist a few weeks before we started. I've known him for 10 years, by the way. I've known him for
You've known your man for 10 years.
For 10 years, yeah. We only started dating a year ago. So I said to my therapist, I was like, I don't want to meet some random person. I want someone I already know to walk up to me and ask me on a date in person, not on Instagram, and I want to be taken on a real date. 5-6 weeks later,
manifested it.
We're just chatting, and I was like, God, he looks really good. Like, I knew him as a kind of grumpy guy because I always saw him at work. I met him, he used to run a nightclub in Edinburgh. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing I'm talking about this. Everyone who knows me will be like, you're talking about your man again.
No, it's okay,
but I think I was just chatting away to him, and I was like, he was just so smiley and happy, and he just turned around and he's like, are you single? I said, yeah, I am. He said, we should go out. Honestly, I was like, and now whenever he does something nice, we're like, where did you come from? Like, where did you come from? I literally don't lift a finger. He's so... Do you know, the other day he's like, okay, I'm going to go out and get like breakfast stuff. I was like, oh, I'll come with you. I didn't realise how many places he goes for everything. I was like, do you go all these places every time you stay at my house? And he's like, yeah. And it's like all these different bakeries and he's the best.
I just love seeing sex workers getting loved on because people say really horrible things like, no one's going to love you after you've done all that with those men.
I went for a wax the other day and the woman was like, oh, what does your boyfriend think about your job? I'm not going back. Sorry, you wax puss all day. What does your boyfriend think about your job? Actually. Mm-hmm. I think your job's weirder than mine. I don't like when people say that. Like, oh, is your boyfriend okay with your job? Sorry, is he okay with like someone who makes good money, is a business person, is successful, makes good money, is happy? Like,
framing off that question, is your boyfriend okay with that? It's almost like it's his place to give you consent.
Exactly. He has no choice. He knows well aware that I would choose my job over him any day. I adore him, but like that just means we're not compatible. It's not that I would like choose a job over him. It's about compatibility, and if you don't see my job as a valid job, then we are not meant to be. I mean, so many of my friends have been like, don't tell guys that you date that you're a sex worker until XY date. Make them like you first. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that. The man of my dreams doesn't care.
He shouldn't care though.
And I think it's society that convinces sex workers that we're not lovable. We are lovable. That's how we make so much fucking money. And it's society that it's the stigma against sex workers. This is why I do like stuff about another part of the activist work I do is decreasing the stigma against sex workers. Somehow society has convinced us that we're unlovable and that we
and we are the reason marriages end, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole nother conversation. But like has managed to convince us that we're the undesirables, that we're the undateables. Why do people keep paying us then? People like us, we're good conversationalists, we're intelligent, we are attractive, we take care of our appearance, maintain privacy. And I don't know how we've gotten to this point where people think that we're the undesirables. And men think that as well. They think that we should like fucking be jumping and happy that they're even asking us out on a date. And yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons to decrease stigma. This is obviously not the most important one. Decreasing stigma to decrease violence, obviously. But like, everybody needs to understand that when I met other sex workers, I met my people. Like, people who are into art and music, and I've learned so much. My taste in music has changed. My taste in art has changed from like, 4 years I've been, or 6 years being a sex worker. I'd say 4 years within like the community. But like, that's kind of crazy. And my values have changed. I feel smarter for some reason. I just feel like I learned so much about people's backgrounds because sex workers, we can get a bit more deep into things, I think. Like, I think that we can be a bit more honest and raw with each other sometimes. Obviously, there's avoidant women in sex work as well, but it's a political job.
Even the act of us keeping each other safe, like, I mean, I can say this because they're not going to know what it is, but like the group chat that we're in, it's like, I love being a part of that group chat because even just from watching other people ask questions, whether it's about safety or like someone being like, hey, I've got to do a scene with this guy and can you give me ideas of what to do? And I'm like, oh my God, that's so interesting. Like learning those things and just seeing that we are all keeping each other safe is so fucking rad.
Yeah. I actually really want to do more work. Doing the activism that I do, I've realised that like, it's actually a bit more depressing than people think. It's actually a really, like, it's hard. Yeah. And I'm not being like, it's so hard what I do, but like, you get into thinking like, yeah, we're going to like fight this bill, we're going to get decrim for Scotland. And then you hear things about like, the rate of violence against street sex workers. Actually, it came out today or yesterday. Latin American sex workers in the UK experience more violence than any other group of sex workers. Yeah. You know, there's street workers that are getting harassed by police in Scotland, in Dundee, Glasgow, and Aberdeen. Police are just going out to street workers. Can you imagine making the choice to be a street worker and not have enough money or food, or you have an addiction that you can't get help with, and you go out to do street work and the police stop you from making money and arrest your client or arrest you and start asking you questions about why you're doing it? There's a reason I know that some people might feel really strongly about like things like street work or brothels, but those are ways that like women in actual real poverty can access money very quickly. And that's why we're not for legalization of sex work, because legalization means that you have to like, you know, have a license like they have in Germany. You have to have a license to be a sex worker. Okay, a poor woman. Well, who gets approved for the license? But also, if you're a woman fleeing domestic abuse, you need to make money very fucking fast. You're not gonna have time to get a fucking license. And all these policies, apart from decrim, harm women in poverty. Yeah, I do suggest people at home to like look up like what's happening near you, because it's rough right now for sex workers. And if you think that like people are being persecuted, like it's sex workers. Everything happens to sex workers first. Like we got censored online first, and it's just whatever you think is coming for you is happening to a sex worker sooner. And I suggest reading up on. Oh, everyone should read Revolting Prostitutes. Have you read it?
Revolting Prostitutes.
It's a book by Juno Mack and Molly Smith, and it goes really deep into like why people do sex work, why you should support decrim. There's like 2 chapters that I love. It's like, is work good? And the next one is and then the next one is like, is work bad? And it's like, ooh, like it's like kind of explores it all. I think I'm halfway through it. Ashamedly, I've not finished it yet. To ADHD. And I finished one yesterday. I was so proud of myself. Tender as the Flesh. Kind of gross book, to be honest. It's about like a dystopian future where people eat humans. Anyway, read Revolting Prostitutes. There are so many people you can follow online, like Decrim Now, Swarm. If you follow them, there'll be like other ones tagged on stuff that you can find. My social media is just Serve Pamela. Full name is Pamela Blonde. Serve Pamela. You can find me on. Or if you want to see the activist stuff, it's Blonde Ever.
But they can find it all through Serve Pamela.
Yeah. So Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I've got a few.
But Serve Pamela is the main.
Serve Pamela is the main one. You'll be able to find the TikTok if you type in Serve Pamela. And yeah, you can find the activist work I'm doing as well. I do, go home and look at what's happening to sex workers near you, because it's usually bad. And we need all the help we can get right now to fight for safety and workers' rights.
And before we wrap up, you've got your own podcast as well, which people can watch.
I do. I've not been doing it much recently because I've been so busy, but I've got Pamsexual. It was my friend. There's a drag queen called Vanilla Parker Balls, and she was like, oh, I'm a pansexual. And I was like, oh, I love that. And I was like, can I actually steal that? And not only did Joey, his real name is Joey named the podcast, he gave me all the podcast equipment I've got as well. I've just got it in the house. I was like, it's really your podcast now. But yeah, I talk a lot about my job and like sex workers' rights, and it's like political, but like also stories from work. Yeah. I'm a yapper. What can I say?
We yapped today.
Yeah. Yappers together. I know, it's been so fun. This has been so good. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. It's been such an amazing chat, and I feel like I've really connected with you, not in the trauma bond way, but in like a wow, you went through that too.
Yeah, I feel like I love speaking to like other like women when we're being vulnerable, like real vulnerability. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Thank you for giving me room to talk about that. And yeah, it means a lot. And I hope that those listening learn something from this episode. Yeah. Those curious about sex work, like they follow you, they watch your podcast, they study this shit before you go into it. Yeah. Don't just go into it because it looks glamorous. Like, it's a really hard time right now legally. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed that, and as usual, I'll catch you in the next one.